Once you start drinking alcohol, it can be pretty hard to stop, especially if you're stressed out or having problems in life. Alcohol can be your way out. Well, only for a while, but people don't realize how dangerous alcohol can be. Alison Aubrey and Vanessa Romo stated in their article entitled U.S. Alcohol-Related Deaths Have Doubled, Study Says, which was published in January of 2020, that nearly 73,000 people have died because of alcohol-related diseases in the United States in 2017. And that's pretty bad. That's like 200 people dying each day because of alcohol. And what's interesting about this is that these deaths could have been prevented. Today, I will talk about the problems with drinking alcohol, how to stop our bad drinking habits, and the benefits that we get from stopping these bad habits. I believe I'm credible to speak on this topic because both my parents are nurses. Growing up, especially in my teenage years, my parents would always talk to me about like the dangers of alcohol and like what it can cause to my life. So I'm pretty well informed about the topic. Stopping our bad drinking habits can prevent problems in our lives, and it can also give us long-lasting benefits. In this speech, I will start by explaining how drinking can lead to health risks and personal problems, and then I will move on to explaining why controlled drinking is the best way to control our bad drinking habits, and lastly, I will be explaining how controlled drinking can lead to a healthier lifestyle. First, I will talk about the problems with drinking alcohol and what it can cause us. Drinking alcohol can lead to short-term and long-term health risks, and it can also lead to personal problems. According to Monico in her article, Effects of Alcohol on the Body and Mind, published on November 3, 2020, short-term health risks of drinking alcohol include poor judgment, loss of coordination, and passing out, while some of its long-term effects include memory loss, liver diseases, cancer, stroke, and heart problems. These short-term health risks can often lead to accidents, especially on the road. Like some people actually drink and then drive, which is one of the most common reasons for driving accidents. This can also lead to violence such as sexual assault and unintended pregnancies. As for the long-term health risk, this can lead to a few weeks or months in the hospital, and it can even lead to death. Drinking alcohol can also cause problems in our personal lives. It can often cause problems in schools because of the lack of performance. We lose concentration to studying and while we're taking exam because of alcohol. It can also lead to social problems in our life, like problems with our relationship with our family and friends. Moving on to my next point, I will be explaining how to stop these bad habits. The most effective way to stop these bad drinking habits is controlled drinking. Controlled drinking is basically limiting the use of alcohol, or as they say, drinking in moderation. Now, in general, moderate drinking can be healthy and safe as long as you're drinking responsibly. The idea with this method is that you keep track of your bad drinking habits so you can control it. Now, the best way to do this is by making plans or taking notes when you're drinking a week. You want to make sure that you're drinking on the safe levels. Drinking is considered moderate for women at no more than 7 drinks per week, and as for men, moderate drinking is no more than 14 drinks per week, according to Lisa Toborg in her article Mayo Clinic Q&A, Is Daily Drinking Problem Drinking, published on February 16, 2018. Or you can try the other method, which is abstaining or completely stopping from drinking alcohol. But most of the time, this method is not very effective, especially for heavy drinkers. Let me explain why. If you stop drinking alcohol completely when you have a bad habit, symptoms can occur like headaches or seizures. In some cases, it can even be life-threatening. Also, you're most likely going to suffer from what they call alcohol relapse. This is basically when you stop drinking for a while and then you go back to those old bad habits, but usually a lot worse. This happens because like when you hold back from drinking alcohol, the harder it is to resist the temptation. And then eventually you're just gonna pop or burst and go back to your old drinking habits. So what ends up happening is that you go into this endless cycle, which I'm about to explain right now. So the one at the top is initial use. Is the first time you drink alcohol, and then you start abusing it. Like maybe you're drinking above safety levels, and then you start to get tolerance of drinking alcohol. Like whenever you drink alcohol, you won't be affected as much as before. And then you start being dependent on alcohol. Like you can't spend a day without drinking alcohol. And this can lead to addiction. And once you're addicted, after a while, there's going to be a certain situation in your life when you're going to have to self-reflect on what alcohol is doing to your life. And at this point, if you choose the other method, which is completely stop you from drinking alcohol, most likely you're going to be going into the relapse, which most people actually falls into. Like they get stuck in this cycle because they think that stopping on drinking alcohol can solve the problem, which is why I think it's not the very effective method. After talking about how to stop our bad drinking habits, I will now be explaining the benefits for controlled drinking. Controlling our habits of bad drinking can lead to a healthier lifestyle. If we reduce our alcohol consumption, this can lead to weight loss. In Mariana Dare's article entitled Facts About Alcohol Consumption and Weight Gain, which was published on December 28, 2018, she said that when you drink alcohol, it's broken down into acetate, which the body will burn before any other calorie you have consumed or stored, including fat or even sugar. So in short, drinking alcohol will slow your metabolism, which results in weight gain. So if you reduce your alcohol consumption, you will lose weight. Now, if you don't control these bad habits, it can eventually lead to a bad mental health. This can cause anxiety or depression, which can cause us to make poor decisions in our life, like suicide or other stuff. This can also cause sleep deprivation, which puts you at greater risk for health problems and diseases. Now that we have come to the end of my speech, I will now move on to conclude my speech. Today, I've talked about the problems when drinking alcohol, how to stop our bad drinking habits, and the benefits that we can get from stopping these bad habits. I explained how drinking alcohol will lead to short-term and long-term health risks and also personal problems. Why controlled drinking is the best method or way to stop our bad habits, and how controlled drinking can lead to a healthier lifestyle. If you have a bad drinking habit, stop this immediately while it's still early. Control your drinking by drinking in moderation so you can have a healthier lifestyle. Remember, drinking is not the only way out there to relieve stress.